I snagged this beautiful coffee table off Facebook Marketplace, and I wanted to turn it into that, but not like completely raw wood, because I just don't think that's practical in like modern households. First thing, I have to take everything apart, which means taking off the trim first, and then I got to the base, which I knew was going to need a lot of repairs. Exhibit A, giant split in one of the legs. It was not the only split that I found after I took everything apart, which took longer than it should have. But then that meant tons of wood glue and clamps, like so much so that I pretty much ran out of wood glue. Fast forward a week, because it took me that long to, get all of the other things in order that I needed to do so that I could work on this. Moved it all outside to get to stripping. I use clean strip, paint it on, scrape it off, and then use some soapy water and some synthetic steel wool to scrub it down before letting it dry in the sun for hours and hours. I think I let it dry overnight. And then I probably spent 3, maybe 4 hours sanding this whole thing, because the strip it didn't strip super well. I don't know why, but I did end up getting it sanded down to all raw wood. This is what it looks like in the raw wood. Now that I've got that done, it's time to reassemble everything before I start adding finishes. I decided to leave that extra base piece off because it was purely decorative and did not do anything structurally for it, and it was giving me fits. So then I was putting back on the trim to the top. This is the point where I almost broke my thumb. Long story, didn't break it, just sprained it, whatever. We survived. Time for a paint wash. I use Sherwin-Williams Latte in about, I would say, 1:5 paint to water ratio. Fun fact, I never really measure it out. So I did 2 coats of paint wash on the top and the base. I wiped back the first coat, but then didn't wipe back the subsequent one. I don't know why I wiped it back the first time. Then I stain washed it before going back and adding some protection. Remember, I don't like raw wood. It's just not practical. You need to protect it from stain. It's going to be used. And then came another puzzle where I had to reattach the base, which I realized wasn't attached in the first place. Whatever, I figured it out. Here's a reminder of where we started, because here is where we are now. I really, really like it. I have a feeling it'll sell pretty quickly, but I don't know. What do you think? Can you believe it's the same table?